Hey YouTube, I've got some ranting to do. You see, I take offense to a number of things, but little gets under my skin as much as hypocrisy. A hypocrite is someone who can't abide even his or her own rules. One good example is the car with a bumper sticker that says something to the effect of hang up and drive, and the driver's on the phone. Another good example is my father. It doesn't bother me that, no exaggeration, the man is more than 100 pounds overweight. It bothers me that he presumes to lecture other people on how to stay in shape. It doesn't bother me that he's been divorced 3 times. It bothers me that he tries to school other people on the subject of marriage success. It doesn't bother me that he's still living at home in his 60s, but it irritates the crap out of me that he tries to tell other people how to succeed in life. If you don't have a knack for something, you can't very well teach that knack to others, now can you? Another good example is found in people like the Reverend Rod Parsley. He passionately makes the insistence that the United States was founded, in part, with the intention of seeing this false religion destroyed. A demonstrable falsehood, by the way. Then he affirms that 9/11 was, quote, a generational call to arms that we may no longer avoid. Clearly he sees the fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan as a part of that. So I propose that the good Reverend, in the interest of demonstrating his own sincerity, go straight to the front line. After all, nothing demonstrates sincerity more than the willingness to make the very sacrifices and take the very risks you call upon others to make. And surely, if you sincerely believe that this cause is noble, then you believe that God will miraculously find a way to protect you, won't he? Here's another good example. The fact is, there is no argument in favor of remaining religious that wasn't turned on its head at least 2 centuries ago. Yet the vast majority of people in the world remain religious. Why? Ignorance. They simply don't happen to know the arguments in favor of remaining religious or the refutations of those arguments. They remain religious because they remain beholden to parties who want to keep them ignorant. So when I see a bumper sticker that says, "Don't let the car fool you, my fortune's in heaven," it's a slight annoyance, but I sort of understand. It makes a certain odd kind of sense when I see this bumper sticker on an old beat-up station wagon or a clunker that hasn't been refinished in more than a decade. But the other day, I saw this bumper sticker on a shiny black BMW in mint condition with tinted windows. As we used to say in the Navy, Whiskey, Tango, Foxtrot. For another example, consider a discussion/debate between a creationist and an evolution proponent, or one between a Muslim or Christian and an atheist. All too often they begin with the creationist, Muslim, or Christian making the insistence that his or her position is backed by reason, intelligence, and education. Yet, it never fails. 2 or 3 minutes in, the atheist or evolution proponent is being criticized for using too many big words. Now here's another example. It's happened before, and it's only a matter of time before someone does it again. I'm referring to the practice of someone posting a video on YouTube, or perhaps another video sharing site, saying something to the effect of, "What has science ever given us?" Science gave us technology and continues to give us more technology, for one thing. Through that, it gave us the internet, the computer, and the webcam. What could be more hypocritical than relying on science to knock science? It seems to me that one who thinks so little of science should have no trouble at all doing without it. Who invented the lightning rod and the stove? Benjamin Franklin, the fellow who said, "The way to see by faith is to shut the eye of reason." Who invented the incandescent light bulb? Thomas Edison, the fellow who said, "Religion is all bunk, all Bibles are man-made." Yet, when's the last time anyone saw a church, synagogue, mosque, or temple that didn't rely quite heavily on lightning rods, stoves, and light bulbs? Now, what kind of sense does that make? You rely on the lightning rod, why? Because you don't think God can deflect the lightning? And finally, a few weeks ago, on YouTube, I came across a comment criticizing someone's English. The thing is, if you're going to criticize someone else's English, you don't get to use the word okay? You don't get to criticize someone else's use of English when you can't be bothered to make 2 extra keystrokes. Well, I could probably conceive of more examples here, but you get the idea.